In this video, we're going to talk about why vitamin K is important to support your bone health, mineral balance, and cardiovascular health. Hi, it's Dr. Mandy with Icy Healer, where we help women and men just like you reverse their bladder pain syndrome and chronic UTIs. If you're new here, be sure to click that subscribe button below. Now, make sure you stick around to the end because I will also share with you my favorite vitamin K supplement that I like to use myself and with my patients. Today, I'm going to talk to you about why you should know more about vitamin K. Before I begin, I want to remind you this is not a substitute for medical advice. If you have a health condition, please consult with your primary care physician before taking supplements like vitamin K. This is one of the most commonly confused vitamins that I feel most people do not understand why it's important, and therefore it is often overlooked. Vitamin K is a fat-soluble vitamin that was originally identified for its role in blood clot formation. Naturally occurring forms of vitamin K include K1, which is synthesized by plants called phyloquinone, and K2, which are synthesized by our gut microbiota and found in fermented foods and animal products called menaquinone. Now, although vitamin K is fat-soluble, we store very little of it from our diet. In fact, the body recycles vitamin K in vitamin K oxidation reduction cycles in order to reuse it multiple times. Vitamin K is a cofactor involved in biochemical reactions involved in blood coagulation, bone metabolism, prevention of blood vessel mineralization, and regulation of various cellular functions. Vitamin K deficiency can increase your risk of bleeding. If you notice that your blood clotting time is slow after you get a wound or injury, or you're dealing with osteoporosis or calcium imbalance, you should pay attention to this video. Vitamin K is involved in all of these processes. Before we dive into vitamin K, let's talk about vitamin D, since both vitamin D and K have a very tight relationship. We all know about the importance of vitamin D in our immune system health. However, so many people are so quick to jump to taking mega high doses of vitamin D supplements without checking other minerals such as calcium. This is one of the reasons why I'm such a big fan of the hair tissue mineral analysis. Calcium levels in the blood are not typically accurate and often require an assessment of albumin and a calcium correction score that is often not conducted in your primary care visits. So many people I have seen have a calcium imbalance and or a calcium shell, and taking mega doses of vitamin D can actually be dangerous. Let's talk a little bit about vitamin D. The stored form of vitamin D, also known as 25-hydroxyvitamin D, is also abbreviated as 25-OH. It is the major circulating form of vitamin D. It's often used to check nutritional status of vitamin D. You have a gland called your parathyroid gland. The parathyroid gland stimulates the conversion of the stored form of vitamin D, 25-OH, to the active form, which we'll call 1,2,5-OH, through enzymatic reaction in your kidneys primarily. The production of the 1,2,5 active form in the kidneys is regulated by several factors. This includes serum phosphorus, calcium, and also your parathyroid hormone. In fact, most of the physiological effects of vitamin D are actually related to the active form, not the stored. Here's the thing. Vitamin D is really essential besides your immune system. It's essential for efficient utilization of calcium by the body. In fact, one of vitamin D's role in the active form, of course, is to increase small intestinal calcium absorption when dietary levels are low. But it also regulates the synthesis of osteocalcin, which brings me into bone health. Hang tight. It's getting a little complicated, but you'll get to the point. Osteocalcin, an important bone-related protein that is synthesized by these cells known as osteoblasts, which are bone-forming cells, okay? The synthesis of this osteocalcin is regulated by the active form of vitamin D. So you see the relationship with bone health. Osteocalcin binds to calcium via a vitamin K dependent biochemical reaction. So now you see the role vitamin K has in this. Vitamin K, therefore, is very important for maintaining proper bone health. Now, current research suggests that lower vitamin K bioavailability may impair the activity of vitamin K-dependent proteins that are needed for bone mineralization and can contribute to abnormal soft tissue calcification. You don't want that. The problem with high doses of vitamin D is too much can lead to hypervitaminosis, also known as vitamin D toxicity. Vitamin D toxicity induces abnormally high serum calcium concentrations, also known as hypercalcemia, and that can result in bone loss, kidney stones, and calcification of organs like the heart and the kidneys if untreated for a long period of time. Now, the problem is if calcium is not being absorbed properly, this can theoretically lead to a calcium shell. All of these can be identified on an HTMA test and properly addressed. Vitamin K plays a very important role in this process. One of the hallmarks of cardiovascular disease is the presence of atherosclerotic plaque in your arterial walls. Plaque ruptures and can cause blood clots involved in heart attack and stroke. In fact, calcification is strongly predictive of future cardiovascular events like a heart attack and stroke. So monitoring and managing this is very important. Vitamin K deficiency can then result in impaired blood clotting, which we can identify with lab tests that test for clotting time. Symptoms, however, include easy bruising, nosebleeds, bleeding gums, blood in the urine, blood in the stool, tarry black stools, or extremely heavy menstrual bleeding. Now, let's talk about drug interactions that you should be aware of. Some oral anticoagulants, such as warfarin and Coumadin, can inhibit the coagulation, and vitamin K can antagonize this effect. In fact, these drugs can induce a functional vitamin K deficiency. Large quantities of dietary or supplemental vitamin K can overcome the anticoagulant effects of vitamin K antagonists such as Coumadin and warfarin. Thus, patients taking these drugs are cautioned against consuming very large quantities of vitamin K. But do not make the mistake of thinking that if you're on these drugs, you don't need vitamin K. Experts now advise that a reasonably constant dietary intake of vitamin K that meets current dietary recommendations of about 90 to 100 micrograms a day for patients taking vitamin K antagonists like warfarin. Because of the high variability in patients' response to vitamin K antagonists, it's been suggested that a daily supplementation of low-dose phylloquinone may improve the stability of anticoagulant therapy. Good food sources of vitamin K include, and this is K1, kale, Swiss chard, parsley, broccoli, and spinach. Now, if you have IC, you'll probably realize you can't eat a lot of these foods because they're higher in oxalates. So hang on, I'll talk about a supplement that I really loved at the end that you can use instead. Other food sources include canola oil, olive oil, cottonseed oil, and animal products. Now, vitamin K synthesis depends on a healthy microbiome and eating foods that are fermented, which could be problematic if you have histamine issues. So you gotta focus on your gut and microbiome and improving that first and foremost, and I can help you with that. However, all forms of vitamin K are absorbed in the small intestine, and they do require bile salt. So if you have bile salt insufficiency, which I see very common as well, it's something you need to address and restore to improve your own synthesis of vitamin K and absorption. Now, beware of nutrient interactions. Large doses of vitamin A and E have been found to antagonize vitamin K. Excessive vitamin A appears to interfere with vitamin K absorption, whereas vitamin E may interfere with the coagulation cascade. If you're taking anticoagulant drugs like warfarin and Those who are vitamin K deficient should shy away from taking vitamin E supplements without close medical supervision because of the risk of hemorrhage or excessive bleeding. So now for my special announcement. My favorite form of vitamin K is actually called megaquinone by Microbiome Labs. The megaquinone formula provides about 320 micrograms of the highest efficacy of all natural vitamin K to MK7, along with 3 of the most essential cofactors, magnesium, zinc, and boron, to aid the absorption. And K1, it also contains K1 as an important supportive ingredient. You can get some information on how to order megaquinone by checking out the link below the comments. Also, you can find a link where to sign up for the root cause investigation to investigate your imbalances so that you can ensure you are following a diet and supplement routine that is individual to you. Don't waste time and money working with practitioners who don't understand IC and bladder pain syndrome. Not only do I understand it, but I too have bladder pain syndrome and I put mine to remission. I really hope you find this video useful. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. Please check out the links in the description on how to connect with IC Healer and visit our website and other social media sites as well.